going to talk about making some welding pins for this sort of flat fab block here. And if you watched last night's video, I made this one. Tonight's video, I'm making this one, which is much better. Great improvement. So stay tuned. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. And if you have one of these tables, I'm giving you the dimensions to make your own here, and you'll have a good fit. So maybe you don't have a lathe at your disposal that you can use to make these pins, but you have a buddy that works as a machinist. Maybe he could knock a few of these pins out for you on his lunch break or something, and get you something set up so then you can start using one of these tables to its full potential. Enjoy. So what is this table that I'm using? This is a Certiflat fab block. It is 36 inches across by 48 inches wide and 6 inches tall. It has 5/8 diameter holes, and actually they're about 633 thousandths diameter holes. And what I'm doing tonight is trying to figure out a good setup to make some quick pins for doing layout. I made this pin last night as a trial. I took a piece of 1018 steel rod and then took a piece of 1-inch diameter rod, and I fit them together, and I used the lathe right here to make this happen. It's a little jet 14 by 40 engine lathe, and I don't like the fit of this. So there's just a hair of wiggle. You can probably hear that side to side. So we've got about 10 thousandths or so play. What I'm going to do now is take the 1-inch diameter and turn that down to 600 and say 30 thousandths or so, and we'll test that fit and see how it is. I'd like these to be able to be moved in and out easily, but I don't want any slop. So these holes are all consistently sized. We just have to machine the pin, or whatever you want to call this, to size to meet the table's inside diameter of each one of these holes. So these holes, like I said, are just over 5/8 diameter, and they're spaced 2 inches apart. And you will see as you watch my welding videos why this is cool and why this is just an amazing table for any guy that's at the house, or if you're in a place where you need to fabricate frames and just make some quick fixtures and weld something up. Just stay tuned to my videos. You'll see this thing being used probably weekly. So really happy with the table. I look forward to trying to use it to its full potential someday. All right, got some of this 1-inch diameter steel, 1018 cold rolled steel. So I'm just going to get some stood off here. I got my outside vise. This thing's just a 6-inch cheap Chinese vise, and I happen to put it on a pretty badass pedestal. This is an old pedestal off of some type of conveyor at a post office. So pretty cool. And it says the International Postal Supply Company on the base of that. So that thing's real heavy, and I actually paid I think it was like 40 bucks a piece. I bought 2 of these pedestals from an auction from the Postal Service a couple years ago, and I didn't know it was considered a blind auction. I didn't know what that meant, so I just bid on it. And yeah, so apparently in a blind auction, just to warn you, whatever amount you're willing to pay, like I thought it was you set a set amount that you're willing to pay up to and they'll automatically bid for you. That's incorrect. So I think I said my max bid would be $80 for a pair of these. Well, I was the highest bidder at 80 bucks. So they don't do it in increments. It's not like this person said 5, this one said 10, your max bid was 80, so you get it for like 25. That's not how it works. You pay whatever you're willing to pay for it, and that is it. So there's no negotiating. So anyway, I'm still really happy with them, and well worth the money. Cool American-made pedestal. So anyway, what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna mark these guys off, and I'm gonna make them 4 inches. That'll give me 2 inches of penetration, which is plenty. should probably make them shorter. But I'm going to start off with some 4-inchers. That'll give us some room to machine and whatever else we're going to be doing. So I'm going to go 4, 8, 12, and that's enough for now. I think 3 will be a good run to see what we think. Actually, one of them will be. So our tool of choice is the Milwaukee Portaband. Portaband, you basically let the tool do the work and the cutting. You don't have to shut it down. That's its job. It will do it for you. Okay, so we've got 3 of these bad boys set. Now we can go machine these down. So let's take a quick video again, talking about the size of the inside diameter of these holes on the table. So I just want to walk you through my thought process in case you're trying to start thinking about doing something like this. These are the steps that I'm going to be doing on a typical job like this. I'm not saying I do it the best. There's probably other people that do it way better and faster and smarter and all that, but at the end of the day, those people aren't doing it for you, so it doesn't matter how they do it. So you got to just pick something and get the job done. So right now, first thing I'm going to do is zero this bad boy. This is a very inexpensive digital caliper. You can pick one of these up at Harbor Freight. This isn't a Harbor Freight brand. This one is, they're all made in China though. I mean, if you have one of these and it has a red, yellow, and a blue button, it's made in China. So I don't care who you buy it from, it's probably the same internals. And they're all fairly accurate, so close enough for this kind of work. Now, I'm going to go ahead and pull some measurements. We're just going to write down the inside diameter. So right here, I'm coming up with about 636 thousandths. 634 there. I'm looking for the smallest one because we don't want to put this thing in there and it being a press fit every time you want to drop one in here. I'm getting 633, 636. So we got 633. I say we make one at 630 thousandths. Let me check this angle here, make sure you can see my scribbles. So let's go ahead and draw what we're going to machine really quick. So this is going to be the small diameter shaft, and then we're going to have the larger 1-inch diameter. We're pretty much going to leave that unmachined for now. So this guy is going to be 1 inch. Give or take. I mean, this is obviously not a machined surface on the outside. That's straight off the mill. And then this guy here, I would like to make a target of, we said 630 thousandths of an inch. So 0.630. And as far as how much machined shaft, for right now, let's say about an inch. And that measurement's not really crucial. I don't actually care that much about that right now. Because what I'm trying to do is get a baseline and figure out a design that I like so I can pump a bunch of these things out and have them available. So let's say for right now, an inch. All right, here we go. Go ahead and chuck one of these guys up in here. This is not the side I'm going to start turning down. I'm just going to face this off really quick. So I've got the lathe currently set for 755 RPMs. can't see that. Let me see if I can get you in there. Take one more quick cut. I'm not going to say that's a badass surface finish, but it's good enough for what we're up to. Okay, now if you watched the video last night, you'll remember that before we drew this away, why is this not focusing? There we go. Before we took this off, we wanted to deburr it quickly. So the way we did that, again, is we took a file and we held the file just like this, one hand on top, the other hand just kind of loosely holding it, and then we bring it up here to the material, making sure not to hit in the chuck. We just kind of take the sharp edge off, just like that. Okay? So, that's that. We will flip this beast around. Just to give you a look at what we just did. Here we go. See if I can get a focus on here. Not focusing super well, but decent finish. It's pretty smooth. Nothing to write home about. Now we're going to flip it over and going to machine off 1 inch of it. Well, that's the depth that we're going to. And it's at about 1 inch now. We're going to bring it down to 630 thousandths. Got to move you guys back a little bit. It's about to get nasty up in here. Let me try to get you in on this. Woo, those chips are hot as hell. Truth be told, I can't see that little 1 inch mark. So, it's right here. Let me show you a quick little trick. So, we know the mark's right there. We can see it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to turn the machine on. Touch off with the Sharpie, and now you can see our line very clearly. Okay?
Okay. Put some more. You know, this is a really cheap carbide cutter. That's doing good. Woo! It's got one of those chips on my thumb. It burnt the skin instantly. That's a little heavy of a cut. A little cutting oil on there. You see how hot this is getting? Yeah, so world's cheapest carbide cutter. I believe it's a Shar's. I got some nice ones. I don't know why I don't use them. My bigger ones, to be putting in some work, you can take some big cuts here. Saves a whole lot of machining time when you don't have to pussyfoot around. Do not let those chips get on you. God, those suckers are hot. Which is where you want the heat. You want the heat to get on your chips. That's taking away from your material and off your cutter. Alright, let's take a quick look at where we're at. What's our status here? So making sure our calipers are zeroed. There's no crap here on the face of that. We're 780 thousandths. So we have about, well, let's say 80 plus 70. So 150 thousandths remaining. Easy. We're almost there. We're going in 40 thousandths increments here. And here's a little piece of 5/8 so we can tell if we're getting close. Put a little cutting oil on here. A little cutting oil never hurt anybody. Except for that one guy that slipped and fell down on it. Getting closer.
Let me throw the calipers on here just real quick. Whoo! Dude, that's right at 630. Mess around and almost messed around too much. So I'm gonna let it rock. See our finish pass right there. Okay. So that's nice and cleaned up. Oh yeah. So yeah, we should be right about 630 is our target. 630. Wow. We made it. Let me clean this edge up really quick with that file. Just like before. You can hear how rough that is. Yeah, I don't like the way that looks. I'm gonna face that sucker off right there really quick. I'm actually going to bring it in a little deeper than the diameter because That way, if there's ever any crap right there at the edge, that won't affect my my seating of the pin. File again. Might as well put the file here too. Okay, get this guy out of here. All right, let's see how it fits. So we've got this guy machined now. Let's go ahead and do a test fit. So make sure you guys can see here. Now, see what happens. Whoo, man, that is a little tight, but that's cool because we can, man, actually, I like that fit. Maybe that one's just got a slight burr. Yeah, that one's got a little bit of a burr in there. Because these other ones, that's what we're talking about. Right there. We don't want it much looser than that. If it's much looser than that, it's not going to serve its purpose. So, yeah, I like that. I like that a lot. That's 630 thousandths. If you got one of these things, that's your money shot right there. So, yeah. Well, what do you guys think? Now, sneak peek. You notice I have the world's cheapest drill press here, and you can make fun of me all day for having it, but I tell you what, this $50 drill press from Harbor Freight kicks ass for doing small stuff. And what I was thinking of doing was creating a series of these pins for this drill press to put it off to the side of this table. So let me draw you a quick sketch. I'm not very good at drawing, so bear with me here. But so say we've got our table here. Okay, so we got our table, and we're not going to draw all the holes in because none of us have time for that. But we'll draw a few over here on the side. This is not to scale. So anyway, we'll take this drill press and have that have maybe 4 pins on a little stand, so I can just tuck that sucker right on the side of this. And then the drill press will be here or whatever, and its table, its base will be flush with the bottom, or sorry, with the top of the table here. So if we were looking at it from a straight on side shot, we'll have drill press, table here at its lowest point, and then the base of the drill press, and then we'll have pins sticking into the fab block here from the side, and then you can have your little drill press here and drill bits and stuff and go to town without affecting the surface and usability of the fab block welding table itself. So I think this would be pretty trick. And then I was also thinking you could have like your portaband and have your portaband on the side of the fab block. And I think that the pins, if you had them stuck in the side, let me grab these two we've got here. So I'm thinking that if you had a series of tools that were on the side of this thing, and the fitting was nice and snug, not super loose, that you could stick those guys in. Whew, these ones on the side are little snug. But once you use this pin a few times, it's going to change it up. And also, I can improve the surface finish a little bit on here. But perhaps I'll get a ream and ream these holes and make them badass perfect. So anyway, if you stuck a series of your pins here and you just had attachments that you could stick on the side of your table, wouldn't that be cool? I don't know. What do you guys think? Maybe it'd just be easier to have everything on stands, but I've got a tiny shop, and it is straight up just packed full of all this crap, and I barely have enough time to get out here. I literally don't have enough time to make these videos, but I do anyway because I like it. And anyway, yeah, I was just thinking, like, what can I do? This table's so cool. How can I utilize it more? Because it's portable, it rolls around in these casters really easily, it's stable, it's sturdy, and it's heavy enough to work on. So I think this is more than just a welding table. This is like a rolling fab chassis, and you can do whatever you want. So anyway, I might sound like a nerd, but I think this thing's worth nerding out on a little bit.